new supply or die missions are taking the verse by storm. Hundreds of people are flocking to these events, either pirating or just trying to collect this datatrine to send it back and get a wad of cash. Now if you're like me and you love to pirate, you're gonna love this because this kind of shows just what it's like being a solo pirate out in the verse. So for now, we took the Aurora because I didn't want to have to wait for my Cutlass Black, and we flew on over from Patch City over to Slow Drive Depot, and that is where I'm going to try and steal from today. So one of the good things is you'll know that no one's been there recently, or that anybody's camping there if there is ground team all on the floor. That's exactly what there was, so we just took them out, firing at them and shooting at them as much as I could, and escaped just in time for somebody to start blasting my ship. Now I managed to get a good vantage point and I just sat and watched this beautiful ship battle, as to be honest, when you're waiting, nice ship battles are something that's really fun to just sit back and watch. Now I will say that these two just flew off, I guess. I don't know where they went, but eventually a ship did start coming in. Slowly but surely we made our way over there, sneaking over as this guy was really checking everywhere, so I had to be very careful as I made my way. And if I didn't think he was being careful enough, he ran right above me, and honestly I thought he spotted me at one point, but I seem to have been safe. He pulled out his datatrine and I was ready to go now though, so I went over as he was putting the last of it in, forgetting that ships have a shield that protects people in it. So when I started shooting, he knew exactly where I was. Not even looking for a fight, he closed the ship and flew off straight away before I could even try to get inside. However, now he turned the guns to me, and luckily, as it was nighttime, I was able to run around and just hide. This was a really scary experience. Like, you know when you see a film about prisoners escaping and they're all circling and they've got the helicopter spotlights looking for them? I felt like this. It was terrifying. And he was flying around and I had to move around as much as I could and get into a good position where he couldn't see me. However, just as I thought I was safe, he came down and literally stared me in the eyes with his ship, and I did not think I was gonna live. However, he either didn't see me or decided to let me go and just flew off and left me. So although this wasn't a complete success, it wasn't a complete failure either, as I hadn't died yet. But not too long after, a Cutlass White came down and did exactly the same, began to circle and searching for anybody on the ground, to which I presumed they were either with those people and wanted to check, or they were a new person that I could steal from. Eventually though, they did land, and it took them a while to land as well. However, I watched him run off inside, and as he did, I ran over to the ship. Now I got over to the ship and I hid right by the turret in the hopes that he wouldn't see me and would run straight past me, but if he did, hopefully I would one-up him and be able to take him out. But it doesn't always go like that. But to be honest, I waited here for so long and I kept hearing his footsteps, but I heard nothing of him loading any datatrine on here. Eventually though, he did run past me and didn't see me at all. But I didn't know what he was doing as he still hadn't loaded anything. But before I had time to question it, he lifted off and started flying away, and I didn't know what was going on until I began to hear the shots from another ship firing at us, and I knew we were both in trouble. As he was now in the pilot's seat flying off, I was hiding in the back, listening to these shots and hoping he would get us out of this alive, but also hoping that he would still land where we were. But for a long time, all I could hear was his jets and no fire. So he either had to have gotten away or won the fight, and with not much shooting coming from him, I think it's the first. Confused of where he was now taking me, I didn't know what to do until finally I heard hangar doors open and knew that he'd taken me back to a station. And not only back to a station, but back to Patch City where we first started. So I think this is calling it a day because I waited there for way too long. And honestly, this is what happens when you pirate solo. You have to take so many risks and guesses because you do not have the eyes to see what is going on. Now I have got a few steals under my belt, so this isn't what it's always like, but if you want to see what it's like when you actually steal something, check out this video on screen now, and I will catch you all in the next one.